All around the world, authorities have been warning us of the dangers of drones for personal use. So this morning I can tell you that social tennis for the elderly is a hell of a lot more dangerous than anything we've ever seen with a drone. This is what happens when you're rushing to the net to get a short ball. So some broken bones, a few stitches, a dodgy kneecap. The most frustrating thing is it's going to be a little while before I can run around chasing a drone, but I'm patiently looking forward to it. This is a Bug 6 frame with a Bug 3 motherboard sitting in it with 10 amp ESCs I bought from Angel on AliExpress. So that's gone very well, it's still flying well and no problems with it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to convert a Bug 3, because the theory is with a larger frame it's going to be more stable in the air if it's a bit windy. So I'm just curious to see how that goes. So here's the next batch of 4 ESCs that's come from China, and I'm all set ready to go. So I've stripped a few things off. The next step with the Bug 3, this particular Bug 3 that's had a fairly hard life, is to remove the current ESCs. I chose to use this one because I've already changed the motherboard on it, so I've stripped away all the white gunk on the silicon on the motherboard, so I'm ready to be easy to desolder and resolder the new ESCs. And having them side by side this way, it makes it more straightforward what wire goes where, with the understanding if the motor rotates the wrong way, you just reverse into 2 motor wires. So that's where I'm at the moment. Here's the reality of trying to put these ESCs onto a Bug 3 frame. It's very tight for room. So I think I'm going to take out the things that are used to click on the cover. So I'm really glad I got advice to go for the 10 amp rather than the bigger ones, because they're physically even bigger and be more difficult still. So the practical reality of doing this. So I realised the way to get those larger, physically larger ESCs in is to get rid of these little posts that the Bug 3 uses to hold the cover on, because I use Velcro to hold the whole thing together when I'm flying. So, discoveries along the way. This is just a dry fit of the shell, a shell on top of the thing, to make sure it's a reasonable fit with the 4 ESCs on board before I actually attach them, because the whole thing's held together with Velcro when I'm flying. So as long as it's a reasonable fit, you can see the side of the ESC sticking out there, but that's alright. So I think I'm in business. So taking the cap off, this is what it looks like underneath. The 2 front ones are sort of on an angle, and the back ones, because the power leads going in, have to be the other way, but I'm happy with that, so I'll start getting ready for the next step. So I've soldered the 2 rear ESCs in the same way, same configuration as before, but second time through I'm happier that my wiring is a bit neater, which is always a plus when you're soldering. So there's the original one, where I had plenty of spare wires, but essentially it's the same thing, it's going to the same positions. With the ESCs and motherboard, it's standard wiring, so there's no worry about getting them incorrect. So the temporary shell, red shell on top, fits nicely over the 4 ESCs that are now soldered into place. So I'm pretty happy with how that panned out. I think it looks a lot neater than the version I did in a Bug 6 frame. So almost there, and the wires are shorter too. So the next step will be to flip it over and solder the motor wires, and if any motors spin the wrong way, you just reverse any 2 wires, so that's fairly straightforward. So getting close to the first test fly. Okay, so that went well. By the way, these ESCs are using the Simon K protocol, so they don't require any configuration, which is one of the attractions. So just taking the whole thing apart. Battery held there with a bit of Velcro. So that's what we have. So for operational use, I use a different top with the camera and the transmitter in it. So this is just the test rig, but I'm pretty happy with the feel of it so far. So look forward to getting a bit better and getting out there and doing things with it. So as well as having a bit more grunt with 2S, means this is a Bugs 3 I can fly 3S with a fair degree of confidence based on how well the prototype B3 board and the B6 frame has gone. So, happy flying.